Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. From my side, I think it has to be the fact that I'm learning more about myself. I'm strengthening my mental mindset in a way during this time. And I get to be in contact with people that I haven't really spoken to in a long time. So I think this crisis has afforded me that, the positive aspects of it. It has afforded me time to listen to myself, gather my thoughts, because it can be chaotic and so busy that sometimes I don't even get time to, you know, listen to my inner thoughts as much. So, yeah, that are the positives of this crisis.
Wow, thank you for sharing. I also saw that with I think it was in the first month. There was a time whereby I was trying to just check on everyone to see if everyone is fine. And I think that was also teaching us okay, it's just my reflection. Somehow I just learned that, the COVID-19 pandemic was also teaching us not to think of ourselves as we would in most cases to say, oh, I'm busy, I'll check on this person at a particular time. We had to now start, thinking about other people's well-being and just paying attention, so I agree with you there. And I think also taking care of ourselves, it's very important, so yeah.
I think time is very important in terms of academic work, because sometimes, for example, ordinarily if there was no a pandemic, you'd be either busy with work or other things. But then right now, you get to realize that actually you have enough time for yourself and for your studies. And if there were things that you kind of delayed previously, to say that okay, I'm making a note and then I'm going to do something in the future, which obviously involves my studies. You then have enough time to do all of that. So for me, I think as much as things are not going well, with the pandemic and all, but then I would say that academically it's working for me, and I think that is a positive, because I'm doing a whole lot of stuff which I never thought that I could do. I've covered a lot of aspects which I wanted to cover. I'm still reading, I'm still trying to fix my literature and all of those things. I think these are the things that it would have taken me a very long time to cover. Probably some things I could have covered only towards the end of the year. But then with all of this time, in my hands, I've been able to cover those things. And I still believe that there's a lot that I'm still going to cover, sort of take advantage of this pandemic. So yeah, that is the highlight of this pandemic academically for me.
Okay, wow, this is so great. So basically for you, Bongani, the highlight is that you are able to do so much more, study wise, compared to when we didn't have a pandemic. And then yeah, okay, but that's great. That is so great.
Yeah, for me, the first few months I was at home, so I got enough time to spend with my family, myself, and my studies, obviously. But then now I'm back to work, so it's kind of a bit hectic for me to balance. But at least I tried to push. By the time when I was still, sitting at home. But yeah, this Corona thing has actually enlightened us in a way, because we get to with what's happening, as I think it's Orlando or the first lady who's spoken, that some of the things we can incorporate with our studies. So that for me, I think it's a sure point. For me it works. I think for me it works properly. And in terms of mindset wise, I'm able to think more clearer, because it can be hectic, guys. When there was no corona, it's just work, studies, family. It was just chaotic. So now we can breathe, have time for ourselves. Though yes, we have those up and downs, but then in terms of study-wise, I think yeah, I'm getting there. So I'm back to work, but I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah.
Wow, that's so great. I mean, one thing I like from all of you is that at least there's a balance. You know, we get time to have time for our families, which in most cases I think people could have, because you come back from work, you're tired, and then there's that deadline and all these other things. But the other good thing as well is that somehow also when you have time for your family and friends, you also have time for your studies as well. So it's good, and I like it. So Grace.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc. On my side, I'm in Zim. It was quite, but I managed to finish the deadline that I was given. I was marking assignments. I managed to download the assignments and mark online, but it was hectic. But I take it as a positive thing because I managed to finish. I managed to meet the deadline. Then on my studies, I think it's quite exciting because I had to include on my literature the new health risk behaviors which are faced by students. For example, some of the students, they are being faced by claustrophobias, and also some they are overeating, oversleeping during this lockdown. So I think I have to include that on my literature. Thank you, Doc.
All right, thank you, Grace. So yeah, so basically what I'm getting from you guys as well is that you're also using the COVID-19 situation to also improve your studies, your projects, sorry, your research projects. Because I heard Oleanda saying that Mohadi was also saying the same thing. So Grace is also looking at some of the factors that are affecting students, currently. So basically, you'd want your research projects to be current, which is good. And I think the good thing as well is that you are also balancing work-wise. You are able to do your work, and yeah, it's good. So I think there may be delays with regards to the current literature that you're trying to get, but the good thing is that your projects will be current as well.